Hello and welcome to 10-Minute Mastery. This session will be about posting transactions. This is part 1, Introduction to Posting Journal Entries to Accounts. By the end of this 10-Minute Mastery, you will be able to post business transactions. But first, what is posting? Transferring information from a journal entry to a ledger account is referred to as posting. Posting sorts the journal entries so that all debits and credits affecting each account are brought together. We will learn about the posting reference on the next slide. The general guidelines for each post that we make will be to first enter the date, then we'll enter the amount, then we will extend balances. Next, we enter the journal page number. Then we will go back to the journal and enter the account numbers in the journals under that posting reference column. Let's jump in and practice posting. Example 1. In this business transaction, we received cash from owner as an investment in the amount of $5,000. You can see that there on your screen that our journal entry is posted. The first thing we need to post is the cash to the cash ledger. And then we'll post the capital from this journal entry to the capital ledger. The first step is to post the date, October 1. The second step is to post the amounts. For cash, we had a $5,000 debit, and for capital, we had a $5,000 credit. The third step we need to do is extend balances. The fourth step, we are entering the posting reference in the ledgers. And here on your screen, you can see the number 1. That refers to the journal page, number 1. Step 5, after you've posted to the ledger accounts, you will return to the journal and enter those account numbers in the posting reference column. So for cash, we've entered 11 because that's the account number for cash. It's 11. We have entered 31 in the journal beside capital there because the capital account number is 31. Let's work another example. In this transaction on October 2nd, we paid cash for supplies in the amount of $200. You can see we have made our journal entry. So we're going to go to the supplies ledger first, and then we're going to go to the cash ledger. In our supplies ledger, we're going to enter the date, October 2. The amount is $200 debit, and then we'll go ahead and extend that $200 balance into the balance debit column. Then the post reference there is a 1 because that's the journal page number. We are working from journal page number 1. Same thing with the cash ledger. We first enter the date, October 2. We enter the amount. It's a $200 credit. Extend the balance into the balance credit column. Post reference is 1 because that's the page number of the journal. Return to the journal, and then we'll need to enter the post reference numbers there. Beside supplies, we have 14 because that's the account number for supplies. It's 14. And then 11 is the cash account number. Example 3. On October 3, paid cash for insurance in the amount of $500. You can see the journal entry there. And then we have the prepaid insurance ledger. where we have entered the date, the amount, and then extended the debit balance there. In the post reference, we have a 1 because we're using journal page 1. And then up in the journal, we have entered 15 in the posting reference because that is the prepaid insurance account number. Posting to the cash ledger, we enter the date, the amount, it is a credit for $500. Then we extend our balance, which on this example, it's $500 credit. We go over to the posting reference here in the cash ledger, and we have a 1 because that's the journal page number. We go back to the journal and we enter the number 11 because that is the cash account number. Example 4 of how to post. On October 4th, bought supplies on account from Ocean Supplies in the amount of $100. You can see there the journal entry has been made. Now to post to the supplies ledger, we post the date. The amount is $100 debit. Extend that balance. So far, the balance is 100 right here. We enter the post reference of 1 because that's the journal page number. And then we go back to the journal and enter 14 because that's the supplies account number. Same thing in the accounts payable ledger. When we post to that ledger, the first thing we're going to do is enter the date, the amount, which is a credit in the amount of 100. And then we extend the balance, $100 credit. Post reference there is a 1 because that's journal page number. We are working from journal page number 1. We go back to the journal and we enter the number 21 because that's the account number of accounts payable. One more example here of posting. On October 5th, paid cash on account to Ocean Supplies in the amount of $80. There on your screen, you can see that the journal entry has been recorded. To post to the accounts payable Ocean Supplies ledger, we'll first start with the date. We enter our amount. We're dealing with an $80 debit. Extend the balance is 80. Post reference is 1 that traces back to journal page 1. And then back on the journal, in the posting reference, we enter 21. That's the account number of the accounts payable Ocean Supplies. In the cash ledger, we start with the date. We enter the amount, it's an $80 credit. Extend the balance, $80 credit. In the post reference, we have 1 which traces back to the journal page 1. And then back on the journal, we entered 11 in the posting reference for cash because that's the account number for cash. Now take a look at what this looks like when you put it all together. When you put it all together, that balance, those balance columns kind of make a bit more sense. This is why we have the balance columns. So let's look at cash real quick. Cash was impacted 4 times here, October 1, 2, 3, and 5. On October 1, we start with a debit of $5,000. So when we extend that balance, it's a $5,000 balance. But look what happens on October 2. On October 2, we have a credit of $200. So this is where that balance column comes into play and really kind of makes sense. So we have that credit and we have a debit of $5,000 on October 1st. So what we need to do with that is subtract $200 from that $5,000 previous balance. And we have a new balance of $4,800. October 3, same thing. We'll subtract that $300 from $4,800 and we'll now have $4,500. On October 5th, we're going to subtract $80 from the prior balance. The prior balance was $4,500. So if we go $4,500, subtract $80, the new balance here for the cash account is $4,420. Let's look at this supplies ledger. Here we have a debit balance of 200, and then we need to add another debit balance here in the amount of 100. And you can see we have the balance now at 300. So hopefully that makes a bit more sense of how to use the balance column for the ledgers. Thank you for viewing. Feel free to leave a comment or any questions below. Don't forget to subscribe, and please give this video a like.